Now today's topic comes from one of my weekly polls where I asked about the biggest concerns with solo travel. And the number one answer, hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Cheryl, also known as SIG the Solo Cruiser. That stands for Solo, Introvert, and Gluten-Free Cruiser. And I'm here to share my personal cruising experiences and practical tips to help you navigate solo cruising with confidence. Now today's topic comes from one of my weekly polls where I asked about the biggest concerns with solo travel. Number one answer, handling unexpected issues or emergencies. Now, this is such an important topic because as solo cruisers, we don't have a travel buddy to rely on in certain moments, whether it's a port emergency, a lost wallet, or even a medical emergency. But being prepared can turn a potentially stressful situation into a manageable one. So today in this video, I'll be sharing 7 essential tips to handle unexpected issues as a solo cruiser. And trust me, number 7 is one that even experienced cruisers often overlook. And I'll also include bonus advice for solo travelers in general at the end. Okay, let's dive in. Tip 1, share your travel information. So why is this important? If something goes wrong, having somebody back home who knows your plans can make all the difference. What to do? Before you leave, share your cruise itinerary with a trusted friend or a family member. Include ship name and contact details, your port stops and dates, emergency numbers for the cruise line, and details about your travel insurance, including policy number and coverage. And here's a pro tip. Create a shared folder on Google Drive or a Dropbox with all of this info. That way, if you lose your documents, someone can help you to get replacements faster. Tip 2.
Hey, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you hit the like button so I'll know to create more content like this. And also subscribe to my channel so you won't miss anything else.
2. Know your cabin location. Now, why does this matter? In an emergency, knowing your way around the ship and getting to and from your cabin is essential. As if you're on an unknown city street, you don't want to appear lost, especially if you're trying to get away from an uncomfortable situation or an uncomfortable person. So what can you do? As best you can, memorize your cabin number and its location relative to like landmarks or stairways. Pay close attention to the location. I know we don't always do, but you can also look at the deck map and highlight where your cabin is just so that you'll know mentally the location of your cabin on the ship. And here's a pro tip. If you tend to get turned around on the ship, you can use a sticky note on the back of your cabin door to point which way is forward and which way is aft. You can give yourself cues like aft starboard to remind yourself of where you are. You can draw more attention to yourself by looking lost. Tip 3, stay on ship time. So why does this matter? So ports often operate in different time zones, and missing the ship's departure can ruin your cruise, to say the least. So what to do? So always sync your watch or phone to the ship time, not local time. And as you're leaving the ships, they often have a clock to show the current ship time. Check the ship's daily newsletter or app for departure reminders. Tip 4, have contact numbers handy. Why does this matter? Quick access to important numbers can save valuable time in an emergency. Here's what to do. Save the ship's emergency number and port agent contact details in your phone. You can also write these numbers on a card and keep it in your bag or your wallet. Add your travel insurance hotline and any emergency personal contacts to the list. Another pro tip is to include contact details for the nearest consulate or embassy in case you lose your passport. Better yet, only carry a picture of your passport in your wallet and leave your passport on board. I know some people have different feelings of whether they take their passport with them or leave it on board. Personally, I leave mine on board, but I do have a picture of it in my phone. Tip 5, stay connected with free Wi-Fi or messaging services. Now, why does this matter? Communication is key, especially when you're traveling solo. Here's what you can do. Use free Wi-Fi hotspots in the ports to check in with friends and loved ones. Now, my pro tip for this is to bring a small notebook to jot down key info like Wi-Fi passwords, local emergency numbers, and must-know phrases in the local language if you're visiting a non-English speaking port. Tip 6, carry cash for emergencies. Why does this matter? Depending on you go, not all vendors or transportation services accept certain kinds of cards, especially in smaller ports. Also, bring a mix of small bills for tips, taxis, or emergencies, or even just purchases. Sometimes if you have large bills, local vendors may state that they do not have change in your currency and provide any change in their local currency. And you may not be in port long to actually spend that currency. And having cash and small bills is a crucial one because when we travel with others, we often have someone who has our back. But being solo, you're just out of luck if you leave your cash on board. And having cash versus cards, sometimes cash is actually better than using cards in some locations. Always do your research. And for your cash, divide it up to have it in multiple locations, whether it's a money belt, a hidden pocket, or an anti-theft cross-body bag, just so you can reduce your risk of theft. And tip number 7, before you get off the ship, consider using a pre-port checklist. So why does this matter? Leaving the ship prepared can save you stress and time. Create a list of what you want to take off the ship before you leave the ship. Include items such as your cruise card and your ID for reboarding, a fully charged phone and a portable charger or 2, a waterproof case for your phone just in case you have a water activity or going to the beach, sunscreen, bottled water, and any medications, and a copy of your passport stored in your phone. And don't forget small bills for cash purchases. Again, double check the ship's departure time before you leave and as you're getting off of the ship. Now, here's a bonus tip for solo travelers in general. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, trust your gut and remove yourself from the situation. Your safety comes first. Buddy up when possible. Group excursions can reduce your risk and help you to meet fellow travelers. Always invest in travel insurance. Ensure it covers medical emergencies, trip cancellations, and emergency evacuations. Nobody plans to have an accident any more than anybody plans to have a car accident or a busted pipe and water damage in their home. Stuff happens. And here's a pro tip. If you use your credit card to purchase your trip, check your credit card to see if it offers travel insurance as an added perk. Secure your valuables. Use a money belt or an anti-theft backpack or crossbody bag to reduce the risk of pickpocketing. Store extra cash and important documents in your cabin safe or your hotel room safe. And also consider leaving expensive jewelry or clothing or bags at home, especially if you're solo. And here's why preparation is key. As a solo cruiser, preparation is your best tool for peace of mind. Emergencies are rare, but being ready ensures that if something unexpected happens, you can handle it confidently and get back to enjoying your adventure. And also, here's the thing, traveling solo doesn't mean traveling alone. You've got an amazing community of fellow travelers to support you every step of the way. Okay, now I want to hear from you. What's your number 1 tip for handling emergencies while traveling? Share it in the comments below. Your advice might actually help someone else feel more confident about their next trip. Okay, now thank you for watching, and until the next time, happy cruising and happy solo traveling.